Hey there, welcome to Synth Seeker. My name's Luke. Today we're going to head into drone territory, actually. I've got in front of me the Lyra-8 Organismic synthesizer. This is not a synth review. There's a ton of great reviews of this out there already. I'll link to a few in the description. But I've been watching over the last couple of years, whenever a video comes up with this, I always watch it to see what are other people doing with it. Because for me, it took me a long time to sort of get into this synth. And I think I went about it the wrong way. And so this video is maybe a PSA, like a public service announcement. I guess it's going to relate my advice on how to enjoy the Lyra-8. Different strokes for different folks, fine. But I see a lot of videos where people tune it and play it. And that's fine, right? These contacts are there for a reason. It has pitch knobs, that's fine. But I think the true power and sort of enjoyment of the synth really comes into its own when you stop trying to control it and let it just do its thing and actually do a few things that are sort of the opposite of what I would normally do on any other synth. All right. So let's make some noise here. Okay. So I'm going to leave everything in slow mode, and I'm slowly going to bring up the hold until I start hearing some noise. All right. I don't even try and tune this thing, right? Get the tuner out, go for it, forget it. It's just a source of frustration, okay? It can be done, and depending on your unit, because they're all just slightly different, maybe it'll work for you. But what I do is I turn everything to fast. All right, so at this point, we got nothing. I bring my hold up to a little past noon, and I turn on my first bank. Let this come in. And I tune these two oscillators just enough so that they're not too dissonant for my ears. All right, maybe that's too close. Get a little, there we go. And I set the hyper LFO. I get this LFO going. I like it in OR mode. Right, and I like it to be set so that I've got a decent amount of motion in it. And then I start turning up the mod till I get a rhythmic something coming out of this. Helps if you turn on the LFO switch. All right. All right, so my pitch is being modulated by my LFOs. All the way down, nothing, or very little. And you can turn it up to the point where it's sending the oscillator down into not even pitched mode, right? LFO zones. All right, that's running. Now I'm going to bring in the next bank. All right. And I tune it until I get something that's kind of like a fifth-ish. I don't really try and tune it that closely, because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a big-ass black hole reverb on it. And it's not 50-50, it's closer to like 80-20. So we've got this resonating, they're going through there in the reverb. Now, the thing that I had to work through is the part you play on the Lyra-8 isn't the tuning. I know, it's not the tuning and it's not the triggers, okay? What you play is you play the level of sharpness in the oscillators, and you play the amount of modulation, and believe it or not, you play the delay time and feedback. So I'm going to bring up some sharpness. Now the delay on this, if you could keep them all the way down, fully anti-clockwise, the delay time is so short, it's basically like a chorus or a phaser. We bring this in. I'm going to turn the volume up a bit. There we go. Now, that sort of mutes it a bit. I'm going to bring the sharpness up. Still, this isn't spectacular for my ears, but it's a bed. It's the beginning of something. And what I do with now is I play with the feedback on the delay. And I'm not shy about it. And at this point, all of my knob turning becomes really slight, little tiny things. I'm going to bring in these other oscillators and tune them to this more or less one at a time. Some more. And the timing. I want the delay to really overdrive and feedback on its own, and then start playing with the delay time. Sort of roars coming out of this beast. So basically I play with the mod amounts, delay time, feedback, and the hold. So that's an example. I really love the synthesizer. I keep toying with the idea. It's like, is it justifying the space it takes up on my desk? And then I sit down and use it again and remember, Oh, yeah. This is just a unique critter. I don't know how many of these, Soma Labs has sold or how many they plan to sell, but I'm pretty sure that every single one is a little unique. And I don't think any two are you're going to reproduce the same exact sounds as any other. You can take photos of these knobs and think you know where they're going to be, and then put that on another machine, and you're just going to get something completely different. So let's take this up and do something else with it. Start with the high end here. All right, so here we've got this going. The LFOs are tweaking the pitch on my upper bank here. And I'm just going to turn the feedback on the delay way up. That sounds awesome. Start bringing in the low end now. I haven't even touched the distortion. There's no point. I like the distortion circuit, but it's, I don't know, it's kind of buzzy for me. This itself, this delay overdrive here is great. Just tiny movements. I mean, it's alive at this point. It's gone completely non-linear. Now, if we keep this bank going and we bring down the upper bank, cross-modulate between the two banks at this point. Bring it back in. Drop the pitch a bit. bring the the pitch of the lower bank down. Anyway, so there's some noises. I've heard a lot of people playing beautiful drones on the Lyra-8, and I've heard a lot of people playing it by hitting the contacts that have been tuned. But I haven't seen a lot of people who just let it feed back and do its thing and then very gently play with it. So that's my take on it. This may or may not have been useful for you, but if you get one of these, don't treat it like a synth. Treat it like something completely different. You can tune it if you want, but really, I think the best part of it is in getting a good rhythm out of this hyper LFO, then letting the delay feed back, playing with the times and the mod and pitch amounts very slightly. Got to move real slow, because if you crank a knob, you're just going to blaze past the interesting thing on your way from not interesting to still not interesting. You're going to miss it. It's in between. So anyway, so here's something completely different. And as always, you've been watching Synth Seeker. Have a great weekend.